Okay, y'all, I'm back. I straightened up my kitchen a little bit so I could breathe, and I decided that I enjoyed talking to y'all so much that I thought I can probably scoop some cookie dough balls and talk to you at the same time. Now, Stephanie left a couple of days ago. And that's been really hard, y'all. When she and her mom were here and they were getting ready to go, I was just in tears. And her mother is so absolutely sweet, adorable. She told me, she said, you always have a place to come and visit. And if you need to, you have a place to come and live. That's just how amazing her parents are. Now, her dad got diagnosed a while back with Parkinson's. Now, y'all, I used to take care of a gentleman when I was a caregiver, and he had Parkinson's. And one day, now, I will tell you, if you're familiar with it at all, and I hope that you're not, but if you are, you know that it causes a person's, I guess you'd call them motor skills, to go downhill, or they just physically get really slow. And it used to take this gentleman, he lived in a trailer, a big one, and it used to take him forever to walk from his bedroom down to the kitchen. And one thing he said to me that I thought was so important, it's like Alzheimer's. There are things that people need to know about that. I mean, there are just things you need to know about that. And so he said one of the hardest things is when he's trying to do something and it's taking him a long time, that people just take over for him. And there's two reasons. One, because they want to help him. And two, because they don't have the patience to let him do it himself. I had to learn to time his breakfast with how long it took him. And he was a very proud man, and he was a modest man. And I had to time breakfast so that I didn't get it ready too early, so things would get cold. And he insisted on doing as much as he could for himself. And so he took his own showers. Now, he had one of those, showers that didn't have the tub. You just walked into it. And the only thing that he needed help with is when he was putting on his, clean and dry Depends. He needed me. He would sit on the toilet and cover his lap with the towel. And then I would get them up to his knees, and he would ask me to excuse him, and so I would leave, and then he would struggle and stand up on his walker and just inch them up. Now, y'all know I don't have a lot of patience. I never have. It's, um, and I always say this, y'all, but it's not an excuse. It's a fact. When you have ADD, you can't wait for anybody. I mean, you can't wait for the train. You're running down to meet it. You can't wait to finish one project or one task before you start another one. I must say I've done good with these cookies this morning. I have not gotten distracted. But, you know, we should really, if there are people in our lives that have something, whether it's Parkinson's, MS, I mean, whatever it might be, we should educate ourselves. And I don't care what website you're looking on now, whether it's giving your dog a bath or any website, they're going to have this thing called FAQ, or tips and hints. Yeah. So that usually, it's kind of like Cliff Notes. Y'all remember in college when you didn't want to read the material? You just wanted to get the gist of it? Now, y'all know I didn't even graduate high school. But I remember my friends talking about Cliff Notes, and I am a fairly well-read woman. You can read me like a book. But y'all, it's important to, one, when you're a caregiver, I don't know, I'm thinking about Terry, and I'm going to tell y'all about him in a minute. It's just important to, figure out what helps them and what hurts them. Here comes the manager's husband. I can't imagine why. But y'all hold on. Let me pause you and I'll be right back. Okay, y'all. He was leaving our monthly newsletter, and all it is, keep your trash picked up, keep your weeds cut down, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, this is not allowed. I kid you not. That's the newsletter every month. Hold on, y'all. I'm going to stick this first tray in the freezer. Okay, I'm back. But anyway, since Terry left, and lady, I don't know who in the world you think you are to tell me that I should be ashamed for not helping Terry. I hope you have to take care of somebody like that. I do. I have spent years being his advocate and his friend when nobody else would. So button your trap. Sorry, y'all. I just had to get that off my chest. Now, y'all know that I'm kind of a sucker for, getting involved in things. And this time, I could not get re-involved. After Terry left, Jerry said, something like, wonder how long it's going to be before you let him come back. But everybody has their limits, y'all. And when somebody reaches up and grabs you by the throat, that's a limit for me. I don't do violence. No. So anyway, I do keep in touch with his daughter. And he went to, I didn't know this. And the hospital called me and said, we have your number down as an emergency contact for Terrence Mabin. And I said, what happened? And she said, I said, okay, I get it. HIPAA. But she said, I will tell you this, it's not really serious. Blah, blah, blah. So 2 or 3, his doctor called me for information. His daughter kind of, what she does is she doesn't answer her phone. And she always says I was out of town. So they were calling me for everything. And I knew everything, I've had to advocate for him. So I just found out, she said he came out of the hospital and then he went back in. And now he's in memory care. Now, I know a lot of y'all thought he had dementia, and he did have mild dementia, according to his MD. When he was living here with me, he could do just about anything if he wanted to. Now, this is what I think happened. I could be wrong. But just like always, when something goes wrong with Terry, he's not getting his meds monitored. Now, that place where his daughter put him, it was a house with 2 other guys and a lady that lived there. Were they going to monitor his medication, check his sugar twice a day, make sure he got exercise, he drank enough, blah, 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 ate the right food? Highly doubtful. And y'all know from our conversations about this before that when people start taking medications that you need away from you, well, that has an adverse effect. Shocking, isn't it? So anyway, that's where Terry is. And I did tell the nurses and the doctor, if he wants to talk to me, he can call me and I'll talk to him. Well, he never did, and I have a suspicion about that. Well, let me not do the hearsay thing, okay? But y'all, please pray for Terry. I know the worst thing, the nurse told me that he seemed to be terrified. And I said, he is. Anytime he has to go into a facility of any kind, he's afraid. He gets drugged up and he has all these hallucinations. and they're terrifying and they're real to him. So that's the way it is. Now, on a happier note, I had a brown bag delivery this morning. I suspect, oh yeah, look at that. Blueberry cream cheese bagel. Real in the deal. Okay, y'all, there's another thing that I want to talk about too. It has to do with my hygiene. So, do something fun today. Make yourself happy. And hope I don't come back.